Chocolo here for another video review. It's a special one, it's the assorted Maltesers Truffles. Yes, look at that, milk, white and dark. Yes. Usually the truffles come individually wrapped as either milk or white chocolate ones. But in this case, you've got the dark chocolate ones as well. Yeah, so very excited about these ones. You know, they did Maltesers, dark chocolate Maltesers not too long ago. They're a bit hit and miss with me, really. I thought they were just a bit too strong and overpowered sort of multi-centre. So we'll see how this works. And I've always found the truffles have been a bit, I don't know, even though they technically, you know, I love the sort of Malteser truffle and I love the Malteser bar as well. And this is like a combination of them both. Sometimes you get those sort of reindeers or bunnies or whatever time of year it is, which have this sort of fluffy, you know, creamy, truffly centre, I guess you'd say. And sometimes these are the ones you get where, yeah, they have the crunchy bits inside like this. Obviously, the regular Malteser is just a ball of malt honeycomb covered in chocolate, and these ones, yeah, you get the two versions of a bar basically. One with the sort of a creamed version of it, usually like in a novelty shape like a reindeer shape or a rabbit shape or something, depending on what time of year it is, usually for Easter or Christmas. And then there's another bar which has these sort of like basically it's just filled with these crunchy ball bits in a sort of chocolate bar form, which is really nice as well. And this is combined them both, basically what the truffles do. But they've always, I don't know, whenever I've tried the other ones in the past, the white chocolate ones and the milk chocolate ones, they've always, I don't know, not really been as good as the sum of their parts, really. I don't know why. They've just been a bit underwhelming for whatever reasons. Obviously, it'll be a bit interesting to have the milk and white ones together, and then the dark chocolate ones as well, to see how they work out. But you can see here and here, you know, the box is half empty. It's always been a problem with these truffles. And of course, they are individually wrapped, which adds to the, you know, the illusion of them being having a lot of stuff in there. You know, because actually outside of the wrapper, they'll be a lot smaller. But it looks pretty good, doesn't it? You know, I like all the different colours here. You know, you've got the different circles, the different colours, red, white and black. The brown one, of course. I mean, the brown one's just the red one, I guess, represented by the red one. I mean, that's the regular one. Interesting. Ooh, truffle in paradise, it says. Yes. Let's see anything else. Looking for truffle. Just basically replace the word trouble with truffle. And there we go. Assorted filled chocolates, it says. Got palm fat in there. Got other stuff. It's vegetarians, 200 grams, throw it in the bin. It's got a big green dot, what's known as a green dot. It's not green in this case, or in many cases really that you see it, but basically means the company supports recycling, but this product isn't necessarily recyclable. And you can see stuff there. You can just recycle the box and not do other things. A bit confusing though, it says throw it in the bin, but then there's other stuff here that says otherwise. You've got per 100 grams, 561 calories, which is above the usual 500 to 550 that chocolate products tend to have, chocolate bars and things. It's above that, in my experience anyway, if I'm doing reviews on this channel. 35 grams of fat, 20 of which are saturates. And then per 18 grams, which is one portion, 101 calories, 6.3 grams of fat, 3.6 of which are saturates. And portions per pack 11. Okay, so I assume that means there's probably going to be 11 in the box, really. Which doesn't go into 3, so there's going to probably be an odd, you know, not a perfect distribution, which is a shame. We'll find out when we open it. First a little rustle, then it's all about the truffle. Doesn't really rhyme too well, but there we go. Looks pretty good though, don't they? They do look nice. You see the different kinds here. Don't look too bad. Alright, well I think we need to give them an open then, see what that distribution's like and just what they look like. So let's do it. Let's give them an open. Right, okay, well, I'm going to give these assorted Malteser Truffles an open. Yes, milk, white and dark. Yeah, look very interesting, don't these ones. I mentioned before in the sort of preamble that if you look at these underneath, you can see that they don't fully fill the box. You can see there's lots of empty space in there. You know, you can see that sort of gap there in the window. So, always a disappointment. But nonetheless, they look very nice and yeah, they look very interesting. We'll see. I wasn't too impressed with the white and milk chocolate ones when I reviewed them separately. I don't know. Didn't quite seem to live up to what they should have been, really, based on the fact that they've got two wonderful fillings, but they just didn't seem to work as well. I think they didn't quite look as good as this, basically. So we'll find out anyway. Let's give them an open, see what they look like, and this, that's neither. So yeah. Right, so let's give them a bit of an open. Where should I open them from, do you think? You're probably meant to open them at the top. Yeah, let's just do that. It says open there, actually, you can see. There's like a little open here tag, so let's do that. So time recording, I've done about 960 reviews for you tonight, if not more, something along those lines anyway. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. It's not opening very well, this is it, look at that. In the top right hand corner, I've got a link to place to all my other reviews. I've got some related ones, such as other Malteser ones, things like this. So after you watch this one, and hopefully liked it and subscribed, go check those out and hopefully enjoy those too. Alright, I can see there, you know, seems to be a bit better than first looked at in the box. We can see there's definitely room for another 5 or so, isn't there really, in that box? Now, let's see what the distribution is like now, shall we? I said there's perhaps 11 in the box, but I think there's more like 22 actually. It says portions per pack 11. I think portion size is 18, so I reckon that's probably per 2 actually, isn't it? Something like that. Okay, yeah, let's have a look, see how many there are anyway. So we'll do the order distribution, so let's see how many dark chocolate ones there are. First glance looks to be reasonably good. Seems to be pretty good actually. Yeah, I think we've got a reasonably good distribution here, and it could be a fluke. Let's just see what we've got. So it could be that it might not always be like this, but I'm pretty impressed at first glance. So we've got 8 dark chocolate ones, got 6 white chocolate ones, 7 actually, 7 white chocolate ones, and 8 milk chocolate ones. So not too bad that. Yeah, very impressed with that one. I said there's one fewer white chocolate one, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, 8 and 7, it's not too bad. 8, 16, 23 in total. Not too bad that one. Not too bad. You know, yeah, there's over 20 of them in there, so yeah. So it's every 2, isn't it? Basically 18 grams is 2 of them, I think. 918 is just under 200 grams, but we've got 23 in here, so there's 2 extra basically. So I don't know if it quite adds up to 200 grams. That bit of an unusual one, but there we go. Yeah. Oh well, there we are. Yeah. So maybe we'll also give them a bit of a weigh in a minute just to find out. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that now. Yeah, I've got the old scales here, so let's turn it around the other way so you can see. There you go. So it's there we are, 0. So obviously this is in the wrapper and things. So let's take one out of the wrapper. Just give it a bit of a weigh. You see there individually they're 10 grams each, 9 grams each. So it's what we said actually, 9 grams. So you know, whether the box might include the wrappers and things, but either way, if there's 23 of these, 23 times 9, so 230. Take away 9, 221. So yeah, there is more than 200 grams in this box. It does say estimated, but yeah, so basically got a couple more than we expected really. Interesting. Yeah, so there we go. So there we are. So it is a bit more than 200 grams. So not sure to make of that really, but clearly 2 of them, which it pretty much says actually 18 grams is a portion, which is clearly 2 of them. So yeah, so maybe we've got a couple of extra ones in this box. There you go, 18 grams. Portion size 18 grams, so clearly 2 of them. If it focuses back in on this part. Which, it's actually turned itself off now, but you can see. I'm saying 10 grams now. It was 9 a second ago. There you go, who knows. 8, 9. 9. I think it's about 9 really. It said 10 grams, I don't know why it's changed. But there we go, 10 grams there, it's saying now 10, 9, I don't know. But I think they're 9 grams each, I think. So I've manipulated a bit there. You could argue that, you know, I've changed it from 10 to 9 or whatever, but anyway, I think it seems to be about 9 anyway, so that's right. Anyway, let's move these scales. Okay. Right, so let's take one of each, shall we? So we'll just move the rest of them away somewhere for the moment. Leave one of each. It's pretty good distribution, I would say. Pretty good distribution. Let's have a look then. There we go. Yes, we've got a dark one by accident. You can see here how much space the wrapper takes up. You know what I mean? It's double the space. If you took them all out of the the wrapper and put them back in the box, it would take up so much less space. You know, sort of 23 of these as opposed to 23 of these. And we can see like one of them is taking up basically the space of 2, if not slightly more. So half as much space basically. We can see they look pretty good, don't they? They do look very nice. Look very interesting. See, they're all roughly the same size. That lovely sort of shape to them. Dome. Got circles there. Yeah, they do look very nice. Yeah, they are roughly the same size. It'd be good to eat them like this as well, sort of double them up and things like this. Definitely going to be a nice eating experience. Let's give it a measure then. So the height of them, about 1.9 centimetres. Width at the bottom, 2.8. Can't really do the width at the top very well, but we'll give it a go. 2.1, something like that. I did the height, didn't I? I did actually. Height is roughly about 1.9. Alright, let's give a bit of a chop then. Let's see, we'll chop the white one first. We'll chop it from the side if we can. Chopping on the side's a bit easier. Don't squash it as much. Let's see what they're all. Okay. So there we go. So you can see the individual insides of them. So there's basically roughly the same really on the inside. It's just the outside that's different. So there's no difference to the sort of truffle on the inside. We can see, I don't know, it doesn't quite look as good as it does on the box, I don't think. So you can see here the box. I mean, it's clearly, it's just not quite, it's just not as neat and tidy, is it? You know what I mean? Clearly see that the truffle is not as much of it. You know, it's just not as good, is it? It just doesn't look as good. I chopped it from the side as well. So, you know, I haven't scrunched it down or anything like that, but you can just clearly see that the truffle, the top, the fluffy, creamy part, just isn't quite as big as the bottom part, you know, and it sort of does get intermingled a bit with the bottom bit. It's not quite as distributed as quite nicely. But it's not a million miles away, it's okay. You know, we're just probably being a bit pedantic, but you know what I mean. There we go, it's the same with the other ones as well. Perhaps easiest to tell on the dark chocolate. You can see there, look, the creamy topper, you know, just clearly just isn't quite as prominent as the bottom part. I've always found that's the problem with these as well. You can see in this white chocolate one as well. The bottom, it's definitely a lot more prominent than the truffly bit. And I think that's kind of half the problem with these, really. It's not quite as distributed as well as it should be. But how did it taste? I think we need to find that out and see whether the dark chocolate ones are really nice and actually work quite well with these. They do look very interesting. I do love the look of them. I love the contrasting colour there. It looks really nice, that. But did it taste nice? Let's find out. Let's find out how they all taste. Yeah, let's do it. Let's lift myself up, give them a go. Okay, I'm going to give these assorted Malteser truffles a taste. We've got the milk, white and dark versions of them. Look very interesting. Good distribution in them as well. It was 887, I think it was. So 816, 23 in total. So it wasn't too bad. Each one weighs 9 grams. So we've got the calorie information on the back. On the bottom even. Per portion 18 grams, which is your 2 truffles basically. Obviously it doesn't differentiate between the different chocolate types, so it probably is a bit estimated, but there we go. We did, it says 200 grams on the box, but there is actually, that's a bit more than that. Let's say if there's 23 times 9 basically, so what's that, 221 grams, so a bit more than you'd think. Alright, well let's give a bit of a taste. I'm going to taste got a bit of half of one, so we'll do taste the individual ones, see what they're like. So let's start with the milk chocolate one. Let's give it a go. But it's very truffly, very creamy. Does taste it's okay. You know, like there's some Malteser bar or the Christmas equivalent, the reindeer ones, where it's got like that creamy centre and things. And I love is it the teaser bar, whatever, it's got the little crunchy bits inside, you know. This is a combination of both of those, but I don't know, for some reason it's not quite as good as you'd think, merging them together. I don't know why, it's just if it's the proportions or something, I'm not sure. But not too bad. Let's try this white chocolate one. You can see there, the distribution. Not that great with the fluffy bit at the top, so not as much of it. Not bad though. I feel like the white chocolate doesn't work great with the Malteser scent. I think it's like it's just a bit, it's okay. Let's try the dark chocolate one. Let's give that a go. Wow. Very distinct. Not bad actually. I feel this one perhaps works a bit better because it's, even though the dark chocolate in the actual individual Malteser dark chocolate one wasn't that great, I think in this one it does help to sort of, it keeps the chocolate separate from the truffle filling or the teaser type filling, you know, the bit with the crunchy ball bits and stuff. Interesting actually. Interesting. I feel like the dark chocolate one actually is pretty interesting. I feel like it works quite well with the centre actually. I feel like maybe it's just too much going on with the others. Merging of these two sort of Malteser products is perhaps not quite working that well with the chocolate, but I feel like with the the white and the milk chocolate one, but the dark chocolate one, it seems to be, just a bit more, it's possible to detect the different sensors. I think the chocolate perhaps interferes a bit too much with them in the other ones, and I feel like with the dark chocolate one, it kind of doesn't merge with them as much and separates out a bit better. Interesting, yeah, it's interesting. Just try and do things like doubling them up as well. So I've got to let's double these up, see. Always love doing things like that, of course. The milk and white chocolate ones are not bad actually, you know. They're okay. I feel like it's just a bit, I don't know really. I don't mind them. I just feel like for some reason it's not quite as exciting as you'd think it would be. Having two really good Malteser products merged together just doesn't seem to quite work when they're combined. I don't know why. That's with the dark chocolate one. Despite dark chocolate Maltesers not really working very well themselves, but I feel in this case you can definitely distinctly taste the chocolate and the rest of it as well, and I feel like it does quite work in a way. I feel like it doesn't dilute the rest of the product. It's not too bad. I feel like they're quite interesting, these ones. Let's try one dark chocolate as a whole. Let's have a see, dark chocolate one as a whole. So we've got the whole thing here. I feel like because the centre's quite sweet, quite creamy, the dark chocolate on the outside really is a real, you know, it's really different than the centre. So you can distinctly taste the dark chocolate and then the creamy centre and then the crunchy bits. It really kind of works quite well. It definitely, I think, works better than the other two, the milk chocolate and the regular one. The milk chocolate and the white chocolate. Just try a milk chocolate one on its own. We'll try a white chocolate one, so we've got a whole one here. It's still nice, of course, you know. I just feel a bit... It is nice, I mean, I must say, it is nice. I just feel like it's perhaps a bit too... I don't know. I say I really like the sort of the individual products on their own. They're really interesting and quite... You know, I remember going with a friend, first discovered these, and we both just would walk at dinner time at work, you know, just to get these, like the Malteser bars that there were at the time, sort of Easter versions of them. They were just so nice. Bunny rabbits. But you know, the actual creamy bit one, but with the teaser bar one as well, I really like the crunchy bits. But just combined, I don't know. I just feel like they're not as quite special as you'd think, but it's still nice though, I must say. Let's just try the white chocolate one. I feel like the white chocolate just melts in with the cream a bit too much. It doesn't quite work as well as you'd think. It's just a bit too creamy. You don't really get any real, you know, it's obvious it's white chocolate to an extent, but you just don't get much of an experience. It just melts in with the cream, and I think the chocolate one's a bit like that as well. I don't know, the crunchy bits are there, but I think the white chocolate ones are definitely a bit disappointing, really. The milk chocolate ones work quite well, but I feel like, I don't know, it's just not quite... I feel like you don't get the solid chocolate crunch that you do in the regular Maltesers bar, the ones you get in the Celebrations product, because of that sort of truffle top, you know, or the creamy malty top. It just seems to be, I don't know, they're still nice, but they just don't seem to quite combine too well. I think it's just the proportions are not quite right. But I would say that the dark chocolate ones, I'm very happy with those. I think the dark chocolate ones really... You can really taste the distinct different layers. The chocolate just doesn't mix with the truffle, and I think that's the problem. I think it's just because the proportions are not quite the same as they are in the individual products that they get. The teaser bar or the Malteser or whatever it's called, one with the sort of truffly cream. It used to be called Malteser, but I think they don't particularly reference the name as an Easter bar anymore either. I'm not sure, but either way, whatever. There's sort of like the bunny rabbit or the reindeer that has the creamy malt honeycomb centre. I feel like that one's proportioned a bit better. It just comes out quite creamy and it's just quite interesting and nice. Whereas I think in these sort of truffles, I just feel like the proportions are just not quite big enough in both areas really to make them shine, and it just mixes with the chocolate a bit too much, and I don't know. It's still nice though. But I think the white chocolate one definitely is a bit of the weakest one. I'm not against the white chocolate one particularly, but I don't know, it just seems to be a bit, it just mixes too much with the, yeah, with the actual sort of like the sort of honeycomb cream part of it, and you can't really discern either of them really, and you know, it's just a bit creamy and a bit, you know, it's okay, but it's not that great. Obviously a bit of crunchy bits in. And it's a bit like that to the extent with the milk chocolate one as well. It does a bit of a similar thing, not quite as much, but it does a bit of a similar affair. And I think because the proportions, I say, are quite small in them, you know, you're not getting loads of, you know, quite as distinct a layers as you do get in the teaser bar or the actual truffle bar. You know, I say truffle, the creamy honeycomb one, you know, the equivalent one. So, but I feel like the dark chocolate one, it's really distinct. It really does work with this. I mean, it's one of those where it still tastes of dark chocolate. It's quite a rich dark chocolate. I'm sure it's 60% still. I don't think it particularly says that on the box. Does it say? I'm sure it's 60%. It does taste quite distinct like the regular Maltesers do. I don't think it particularly says, but I reckon it probably is. I can't see it there anyway. It seems to be though, from what I can tell, it is quite a strong dark chocolate. And I think it works actually. I'll say it will depend on whether you like dark chocolate or not, but it really does allow you to appreciate the different fillings because the dark chocolate doesn't mix in like the milk and white chocolate do, especially the white chocolate. So an interesting one, these ones. I think they're quite nice. I like the way you can double them up and things. It's not a bad product actually. I think I was a bit disappointed with them individually. The white chocolate one and the milk chocolate one were just not overly interesting. I feel like the white chocolate ones, as I say, are the weakest one. You know, just because the white chocolate and the sort of the creamy honeycomb centre, or part of the centre, just doesn't work very well. And again, I feel like because of the proportion size in this, the milk chocolate one has a bit of that issue as well. But I like the crunch in them, I like the different textures and things. They're just not quite as good as some of the parts generally. But I think the dark chocolate one kind of is. But it does depend on whether you like that dark chocolate. But it definitely works better than the dark chocolate Maltesers on their own did, you know, because they just overpowered the honeycomb. Whereas in this case, it actually helps you sort of discern the flavours a bit more because they're not quite that honeycomb as such. It's more the creamy centre and the crunchy bits, and it doesn't merge with the creamy centre and allows the rest of it to kind of work a bit better, really. So, yeah. So overall, you know, as a product, it's not bad actually. You know, as I say, I think the dark chocolate one, again, the problem with that is most people might not be too appreciative of the dark chocolate side of it, but if you can see past that and do like dark chocolate, I think it's a really nice inclusion. I like the distribution as well. I think the distribution is pretty good, so you do get one fewer white chocolate one, but it's I think we're probably getting more than you should do in the box anyway, according to the weightage, so you know, there is that. So overall, I think this is not too bad. I think it's, for me, I feel like, I don't know, they're not as good as they should have been. I feel like there's just something not quite spot on about them, really. But I do still quite like them. I like the dark chocolate, I like the assortment, as I say, and the distribution's pretty good. So I think all in all, 4 out of 5 for me. I think these are pretty nice. You know, just could be a bit better somehow with the milk and white chocolate ones. But the dark chocolate ones, pretty spot on, actually. Okay guys, so we enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, check out the YouTube member program, and check out the Discord server, links for those in the description. Check out all the videos that appear on the screen now, hopefully they are anyway. Great to support the channel by continuing to watch my content. And leave a comment or free, always great to hear from you, and always doing my best to reply. If you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys, take care, and bye for now. See ya.